Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Wednesday version of Harmonize to Energize. My name is Terry Matthews. I work from home. The Jin Shin Jyutsu office is now between myself and David Burmeister working from home. But I'm still in Arizona. I haven't been airlifted anywhere else. So welcome, and particularly to new people. Jin Shin Jyutsu is an art of harmonizing the life energy as it travels through our bodies in organ function energy channels and other pathways. And in Jin Shin Jyutsu, we place our hands on what we call safety energy locks, 26 to the left and 26 to the right of the spine. And by placing our hands on these safety energy locks, usually 2 at a time, differently from acupuncturists who perhaps just place in one needle and take their hand away. We keep connection with the body, and our hands allow or facilitate the movement of energy where there are blockages in order to allow a greater, more congruent flow of the energy through their pathways to keep us in balance and harmony. So, the Wednesday version is all about storytelling, inspiring stories from practitioners, instructors from around the globe. So without further ado, today's mystery presenter is Marna. Welcome, Marna.
Hi, so nice to be here with you in this setting of the Wednesday Harmonize to Energize. So I'm really happy to be here. So hello to everyone who is here or maybe sees the replay later. Yeah, well, Terry invited me to talk about some inspiring stories from my life and my practice, my Jin Shin Jyutsu life and my practice. And it's always an honor to get the opportunity to share Jin Shin Jyutsu with other people. So let's start by introducing myself. I am, as said, Marna, and I'm living in the Netherlands. And it is 8 o'clock in the evening here. So good evening and good morning and afternoon for the people who are in other areas of the world. I have had my practice now for 18 years. And Jin Shin Jyutsu came into my life in around 1995. And Jin Shin Jyutsu found me through my aunt. And my aunt and her twin sister found Jin Shin Jyutsu in the early 90s. Of course, the whole family thought that what they were doing was a little bit strange and maybe a little bit witchy. And yeah, we thought it was a little bit a strange way of healing maybe. So, but whenever there was something with our health, or we were fatigued, or there was something that the regular medicine maybe could not help us out, we could always find our aunts. And especially one aunt, she had a practice and she became later on, much later on, my mentor. But in the beginning, I was just receiving wonderful sessions of her, and she really saved my life a couple of times, I must say. So, in the beginning I went there because I had to write my thesis for the university, and my eyes became very fatigued, and I got headaches, things like that. So my aunt finally was the person to go to. And of course, as always, she helped me out very quickly. And after she found Jin Shin Jyutsu, she really started to apply it on me. Of course, I was one of her guinea pigs in this area, and I was not, I was really happy with that, of course. And one of the things when I got my children later on was, of course, that I wanted to go. Yeah, I didn't want to put medicine in a little baby or little children if it was not necessary. So whenever there was something with one of my children, I was calling her or I went to her place. So gentle. And I was just doing what she was saying, not understanding a thing about Jin Shin Jyutsu or knowing anything about Jin Shin Jyutsu, just simply placing my hands on that right ankle. And within a couple of minutes, my baby girl calmed down and the fever also went down. So this happening, of course, felt really empowering to me. And I was really happy that it could be so easy to solve something like this for my children. And then my second daughter, she had asthma issues. So again, I went to my aunt just for help. I was still like kind of dependent on her knowledge, of course. And she gave my 1-year-old girl a treatment. And she said, well, Marna, I will teach you some things that can help you too. You can help your daughter. So I was just giving some instructions, simply holding like the upper arm, holding her ring finger, placing my fingers here for a couple of minutes, all little things I could do for that little girl. And within really a couple of weeks, the issue became much better for her and we could reduce the medicine. And my little girl was also really loving it when I was giving these little, handholds, you could say, to little flows to her. And this really helped me to get a little bit more sure. But of course, when the children are that small, they are not going to give you any feedback. And then one day, I really wanted to share some stories about my own life because it really shows that even if you do not know Jin Shin Jyutsu yet and you only know maybe a little about it because someone showed you a simple hold or maybe you have read a book about it, I could only encourage you to start apply it because even when you do not know anything, Jin Shin Jyutsu will work for you. So, I wanted to share the story that really got me even more into Jin Shin Jyutsu and really wanting me to know more about it. And that was when we were on a holiday and the children were still very small. And we were in an area I did not know where the hospital was or where there would be maybe a doctor in the neighborhood. And in the middle of the night, my husband woke me up because he had also an asthma attack. It was his first, he never had it before. And he was really panicking, of course, because when you cannot catch your breath, it is really, really scary. And I was like, what do I do? I don't know what I can do. The children, I had a baby and a toddler. I don't know where the hospital, baby girl in the spring. And suddenly I could also remember all those holds. It was now summertime and I just was doing this for him. And within, again, a couple of minutes, he started to calm down. He got his breath back and he became much, much better and he fell asleep again. I didn't sleep for a long time after that because my adrenaline, I don't know. Adrenaline was, of course, moving. And I could not sleep. And because it was a scary experience when someone is almost choking next to you. But then the next morning we were talking about it and so he could give me the feedback that how it felt to him when I was doing these simple holds and that it really helped him out. And that was really the first time that I got a feedback on what I was doing in words. Of course, I got a feedback of my little children too, my daughters, but now it was an adult person who was telling me that how it had helped him. So that was really encouraging, and also, yeah, it gave me the awareness that maybe my aunt was not practicing some magical healing art, but that also me could be able to help and support someone. And of course, my aunt was a little bit older. And suddenly I also thought, yeah, who is going to do this for me and my family when is not there anymore? And that thought became stronger and stronger. And my aunt had started to urge me to go to my first 5-day class. Well, that took about 2 years of her telling me, go to this class. Why don't you go to a 5-day class? And I was, yeah, I don't have time. I have 2 little children. And in that time, I already had a third one too. So how can I do that? And am I going to pay for that? But finally, she convinced me to go to my first 5-day class. And of course, that changed my life, and really was one of the biggest gifts I received in my life, I think, because it totally changed the directory of where I was going. And now I have a practice for the last 18 years, and I have helped so many clients and also really my family. So that's one of the things I wanted to share with you, the stories of clients and also my own stories of my own family, because the desire to be able to support my family in their health was the main reason to start to study Jin Shin Jyutsu for me. So I wanted to go a little bit further with that, not having a breath, and especially nowadays when we have a disease going around, which really, a lot of people have problems breathing, have a short of breath. There also is breath involved. And the big fear I see with clients like that is the fear to choke, the fear to not able to breathe anymore. And then, that's really, really scary for them. Of course, I can understand that totally. So when you have a big label like that, it is also giving, of course, a lot of issues, and one of that issues being the breath. And when you wake up and you feel that you cannot breathe, then of course the anxiety kicks in, and I am not there to help them out. So of course the first thing I do is to teach the people around them how they can help someone who is choking or is scared to choke or is not being able to breathe properly. And it's so easy to do. So you simply wrap your hands around that upper arm, just both hands around the arm. And the partner of my client could easily do that when they were lying in their bed and she woke up and she was scared and she had problems with her breath. Her partner just simply placed the hands around her upper arm, and within 5 minutes, the anxiety was gone. She could breathe again. And with a big label like that, most people they measure the oxygen, so the saturation in their body. And every time when they were doing it, they could see that the moment that they were holding the upper arm, they could see how the saturation was rising again. And they not only, they could see it through this device, and they of course could see it also through her well-being. So a very, very easy hold. So whenever you are next to someone who has problems with the breath and the breathing, please place your hands simply around that upper arm and just experience what happens, because it's really, I think it's really comforting and really soothing to see how someone can really calm down by a simple hold like that. And the partner of my client, she teach this to everyone who was with my client, because in the end, of course, she couldn't be alone anymore. She didn't want to be alone anymore, of course, also because of being afraid that she couldn't catch her breath anymore. So yeah, everybody who was with her knew this simple hold. So her son-in-law has done it for her, her daughter, her grandchildren. And suddenly she heard that her doorbell rang, and yeah, the doctor was there, and she really, really wanted to see the doctor. So she tried to stand up, but because of the medicine, her legs were too weak and she fell. But she fell quite hard. She was really bruised, and she was not able to get up anymore. The doctor heard her fall, and she could go into the garden. And so her doctor, she found her there lying and not able to stand up, and the doctor was not able to help her out neither. And of course, when you are in pain, your breath starts to go faster and faster, but that was not possible because of the cancer. So then, of course, the fear and the anxiety started to kick in, and her doctor was asking her, "What can I do for you? What can I do for you?" And then she said, "Please just hold my upper arm." So there, her doctor was also witnessing how in 5 minutes, everything calmed down and she could easily breathe again. So yeah, a simple hold I really wanted to share with you, especially now when there are more people, of course, because of the disease that's going around, who have maybe problems breathing. So that was something, that is what I also love about Jin Shin Jyutsu, the simple things we can do for each other. Yeah, another story I wanted to share with you is maybe again a family story, where again we were on holiday, and of course, especially when you are on holidays, you do not know where hospitals are or the doctor resides. So yeah, we were going to the beach, and we had to go for a drive for 20 minutes from the main street. It was a dirt road down the hill, and then we arrived at a beach where there were 2 restaurants, and that was it. It was a small beach, and my daughter was playing there, and she ran up to me, and there was like a very sharp stone, and the stone went through her whole sole of her foot. So it was quite deep, and it was quite scary. And yeah, of course, we used water to really rinse it out. And I went to the restaurant, and they had a kind of powder. Later on, I learned that was antibiotics. In Holland, we cannot buy that in a store, but they sprayed that on her foot, and we immediately went back to our apartment to figure out what to do with it, because it was, normally maybe you wanted to go to a doctor. So I started immediately to help her out by simply placing my right hand above the really deep cut and my other hand on top of that. So my right hand was above it, and then the left hand was on top of my right hand. And during that ride up of 20 minutes, I already started to feel how the energy started to move. And to me, it really feels like stitches. It's really, really plasters on it. And we went, I gave her another few minutes with my hands on top of the wound. And then we went out to dinner, because it was our last night there. And what do you do? So we needed to eat. So we went there, and we had been there a couple of times during that holiday. And there the owners were a mother and her son, and they were like, "Oh, what happened to you?" And so we explained, and they said, "Oh, Jay, that will take a lot of time to heal because the water is so it's so salty here. So yeah, that means when the water is this salty, yeah, that the wound will not heal as easily as it normally does." So we were prepared. And okay, I just listened to the story, to that story. We went back to the apartment. I gave her again 20 minutes above her feet with this simple hold. And this this was our last day. So the day after, we were going home. And well, also at home, I did it a couple of times, but I think maybe on Sunday or Monday, I already really stopped doing it. So this happened on Friday, and on Wednesday, she was playing hockey, and the wound was totally healed. It looked beautiful. There was no scar, nothing. And I can say if I had not seen it with my own eyes, I would not have believed that it could heal so beautifully and so fast, because it really healed very, very fast. So to me, this was one of the reasons that I started to learn Jin Shin Jyutsu, that I could be able to help my own children out. And I still think this is a very beautiful thing. And indeed, this week, I also gave my daughter, who was not feeling well, a session, and this time it was a remote session. So that is also something really beautiful, I think, that I found through through this period that started in March 2020. I discovered that I'm able to give remote sessions and that they are really powerful, and I really love to share those sessions with people. And it's, of course, again, really empowering that I can help my daughter out wherever she is in the world. So I think that's one of the main gifts for me of Jin Shin Jyutsu, that it's so empowering when you can help yourself, of course, with the self-help, and you can help other, your family, your loved ones, your partner, your parents, and of course also your clients. And it's an amazing thing. I think that we can do that with this beautiful, gentle healing art called Jin Shin Jyutsu. You understand that with an 18 year practice, I have a lot of stories to share, but I think we keep it with, just these little stories for now, and maybe I will, be with you another time again.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Lots of gems there. And here is my remote healing friend. She's called Arwen. And when I work on people, just like Marna, it can be very, very effective. In fact, I did one yesterday and I got a text back soon afterwards, and I think the person felt something. So, we have the placebo surrogate effect here, where we allow our friend to connect with the energy of the person we're working with. So anyway, enough about that. It was a wonderful collection of stories. I'd never heard too many stories about the right on red that, went beyond, well, I tried it. You actually did it, and you actually had the success at the end. So that's great.
Yeah, it's really powerful. I can really feel like as if it's stitching, and it starts very deep, and then I can feel it, and it's so powerful that I think when you would do it with a thread, it will tear the tissue.
Right.
Because it's so really, really connecting both sides of, like in this case, the cut. Yeah, I have used it a lot.
And you made some interesting observations there about the family of the lady who had the cancer label there, and her friends learning presumably the high 19s,
Yeah.
and it just reminded me a couple of the things there, and maybe this is something you've realized anyway, and I apologize for repeating something that most people may know. But when our friends are involved, and they connect at the level that we, connect at, it really strengthens the field. And even if at the beginning they're not sure what they're doing, their intention is normally to help. And you put that intention plus, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
that's the arms. You put that intention together, and you've got a really compassionate field, I would suggest. And
Yeah.
within that field, you've probably multiplied the healing effect because there's more than one person perhaps now interacting with your energy field with an intention to help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And it is so comforting for someone because watching someone not being able to breathe is really hard. It's
sure,
awful.
sure.
So when you are able to do something very simple and you see that it helps, it's so, yeah, it's really, really, it was really beautiful. And it also brought what you said, say the connection between like her son-in-law and her, when he saw that he could help her out. There's so much compassion and love and healing into that.
And what is Jin Shin Jyutsu often referred to as? The art of compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's perfect. Yeah, so some really beautiful insights there, Marna. And folks, this is the second time that Marna has been on. She's one of the rare repeaters. I say rare because sometimes people aren't always available. We've had some wonderful presentations. And I do ask people to come back. I know you hear me say, "Oh, we'll have to have you back," and then you wonder when. Well, here's Marna, and she's doing the Wednesday version now. Of course, she did the Friday version before. So, Marna,
Yeah.
before we sign off, is there anything you'd like to share with anyone about any classes you're teaching or anything?
Yeah, well, I have a couple of self-help classes available, which are always available because I made them online. So I have online courses available in English and also kind of like more experiences. Like I have a Unlock Yourself series where I go day by day through every lock. And then I have been doing that like this year. And now that version is available. And a lot of people like to buy that like just before their birthday and then go until their birthday. So they opened up all the energy locks until their birthday, or they want to do it for a month that they want to give themselves a little bit extra self-care. And it's really lovely because you learn the Jin Shin Jyutsu safety energy locks by simply being with them. And you learn a little bit of like the philosophy behind it, but also really it's all like a kind of guided meditation with the energy locks. So yeah, when you go on my website, you can find a lot of stuff there.
What's your website?
Yeah, I kept it simple with my name, www.marna.nu, and I will place it in the chat too.
Oh,
Nu,
I was just about to do it. Is it .neu?
yeah, NEU, because in Dutch that means now, and as Mary Burmeister taught us, we always need to be in the present moment. So I thought it was beautiful. So it's marna.nu, N-U. And there are a lot of, I have it in English and I have it in Dutch. So
that's the that's the equivalent of .com. It's .nu, right?
yes.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because I started to do it with only my name because nobody could remember Jin Shin Jyutsu. So that was a long time ago that I started my website.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'll check it out myself. Well, okay, that's really good information and a lovely idea to work towards. Your birthday with safety energy locks and what have you. It's interesting, what you can do with the simplicity of an art, and that's again
Yeah, and
simple and
it's
beautiful.
really powerful to open up. I found by doing this that it's really powerful to do one lock per day in the
Yeah,
sequence. It's
good.
really, people are getting really beautiful results with that, and really start to feel how that energy starts to flow more. So it's a really beautiful, easy. It's
I'm going to borrow that idea for some of my classes.
do that. Yeah, I will do a live version in March,
Oh,
because in March 2021 I wanted to go with the vibration of the day. So March 2022 is the vibration of the one,
right.
because when you add all the numbers, it is a one. So I have done that in May 2020 and in April 2021, and now in March 2022 it will be a live version. That's very nice.
Perfect. Hey, Marna, one person said the URL is not working. Let's make sure I've got it right. It's marna.neu or .nu?
I will put it in the.
Oh, you see, I
Oh,
thought you said NEU.
I,
So I got it wrong. Okay, it is, yeah. Yeah.
thank you. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Perfect. Okay,
So
everybody. So there you have it. You've got the website. What more do you need? You need to click on it and go and have a look. And
yeah,
then,
it's still a work in progress, but it's so busy in my practice that the
no,
website is always a bit behind.
oh no, perfect. You're in your own flow. Okay, folks. Well, we're moving on just briefly here because there's something I want to tell you about what's happening this weekend. So I'm just going to turn the screen share on, and we'll have a quick look at what's happening this weekend. 3 instructors, Sarah, Natalie, and Jill, are teaching finger sequences, Self-Help Book 1 and the Lumbar Circle, Attitudes and Gratitudes. And that's a very interesting way of understanding how you can relate the lumbar circle to all the different attitudes that you can harmonize in the fingers. I've looked at it myself when Lynn Pfluger used to talk about it. Very interesting. You can learn a lot from it. Register today, 35, or PayPal. Click here. And always check your inbox. If you don't, check your spam. And with your PayPal, that will go to one of the teachers, so we won't have that link. But if you pay by credit card, Jin Shin Jyutsu webinar help, it's jsjwebinarhelp.net will give you the link if you haven't got it. And then January the 2nd, 5-day self-help online seminar presented by Sarah and Kelly Mount, who's an instructor in training. So that's going to be beginning January the 19th. And we recommend that all Jin Shin Jyutsu students attend at least one self-help class. And they're studying the fundamental principles of Jin Shin Jyutsu. All the dates and times are there. Your organizers, Maggie and Susan, register today, 5:50 down there. And then there's an online basic seminar. Sarah's popping up yet again. So that's the 5-day seminar with Sarah beginning January the 26th. And there's all the information, part 1 and part 2. New student, review student rates there. Now, if you've missed any classes, once they're finished, you can get them for replays, and you just click on these links. Replays are available for 3 months. All right, folks. Well, that's it from me. Thank you again, Marna. It was delightful. We will see you again. If I don't hear or speak to you before Christmas and the New Year, happy holidays. And all the best to you in Holland. And as I said, hi to Anna. And we will see you soon. And goodbye, everybody here. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Friday is the next time for Harmonize to Energize, when we'll be doing some practices. So join me then, 2:00 New York time. And if you do want to share any stories, don't forget, you can still write at info@jsjinc.com. All right. And then just send me a line, drop me a line, and we'll have a look at the stories you got, and we'll get you set up for some dates. I'm looking forward to 2022. We've got a few people lined up in January, but it's an ongoing thing. Some people sometimes can't do the dates and they have to drop out. So, if you got something you'd love to share, drop me a line. So take care, everybody. Look after yourself. Be safe, be well, be happy. Auf Wiedersehen, cheerio, au revoir. And what do you say in Holland?
Dag of goedenavond.
Whatever Marna said.
Thank you very much. It was so much fun to be with you.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.